Hey guys, welcome back to the Bargain Collector. I'm Jocelyn Ramon Thinney. Come on in, kick your feet up, hit the like, and definitely hit the subscribe. Well, a few videos ago, I told you about my Facebook Marketplace haul where I got I think it was about 7 or 8 movies for $5 total. And I finally got around to watching this one, which is called Hotel Deluxe. Now, here's the thing. In that group of films that I got on my Facebook Marketplace haul, there was a 4K of Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. There was a Blu-ray of Flashpoint, and there was a Blu-ray of Dragon Tiger Gate. And I told you immediately, I knew those were going to go into my collection. Well, I'm pointing like I'm in my room. There's no collection here, but I'm so used to doing that. But I told you right off the bat, they were going to go there. And I said I'd watch the other films to figure out if those would be added to my limited library or if they would just be offered up for subscriber Saturdays. Well, in my previous video, I reviewed I Love Hong Kong 2013. That one's not going in my very limited library. That was a very easy decision for me. And then I went and I popped in this film, Hotel Deluxe. Now, where the previous movie was considered a Chinese New Year style of film, I never knew that there were styles of film for the Chinese New Year, but now I know. But apparently there's also a style of film for the Lunar New Year in Chinese culture. And that's this film. It's the style of this film is very much in line with the Lunar New Year style of film. And I'm not going to beat around the bush. All the critics, now they think differently than me, but I'm going to tell you what they said. They said it's a slightly above average Lunar New Year film. The reasons why they said so was because they said it's a very thin plot and that most of the story beats just feel recycled from other films that are already categorized as Lunar New Year films. And unlike the previous film, I Love Hong Kong 2013, this film didn't have any major controversy, but it did have a very ongoing discussion about whether or not the film is funny at all. That's pretty, you know, I mean, to say you made a comedy and the criticism is it even funny? That's a rough criticism. Now, I can tell you that I sat down and I watched this and I made it not even as far as I did in I Love Hong Kong 2013. I didn't even make it as far as I did in that movie. I probably made it maybe 30 minutes into this film before I tapped out. And I'm sorry, I don't even like to speak ill of people's movies because it's all about creativity and art. It's an art form. And I feel bad sitting down and just saying that whatever art somebody created is just bad. But I'm here to tell you that was extremely rough. Extremely rough. The movie it doesn't have a plot. That's number one. There is no real plot. Essentially, the very loose kind of a plot is that there is this male manager of this hotel, which is an international hotel. Okay. And they make sure that they tell you it's an international hotel. They make sure they show you, actually. They show you it's an international hotel without having to tell you. And this part I thought was really creative. They have him in a super upbeat mode. And I mean, they have the upbeat music and everything. It looks great. And he's walking through the hotel, meeting his guests at the hotel, and he speaks in their language without them having to say anything. And I thought that was really cool. He approaches one guy and he starts speaking French, and the guy speaking French back to him. He speaks to another person, that person speaking, I think it was Mandarin. He's speaking Mandarin to him. And then there's someone, I want to say there's someone from the US, and he's speaking English to that person. And then the thing that almost took me out. This is not a joke. There's an African person that walks into the hotel, and the manager says, "Umba," and starts making these clicking noises. And I'm like, no, why? Even the subtitles said random noises. It didn't even say he was speaking any language. At least with the other one, it said, oh, in French, this is what he's saying. In English, this is what he's saying. In this one, it just said random noises. Because they knew. And this African person stares at him and responds in Cantonese, "I speak Cantonese." What? Why was that the joke? Why? I don't even understand what the point of that was. It was just a very odd choice. And the movie from there just starts going downhill because we find out that this manager really isn't that great of a manager. He overlooks a lot of things, so things aren't going as smoothly as they could. And then a higher up person in the company shows up, and this is a female, and she's a female manager. And she shows up to basically fire people who aren't up to snuff. And so she has an app on her phone where she takes a picture of you and it'll give you a rating. And if it's below a 50, she fires you. And if it's 50 or above, you keep your job. And she tells him that she's going to be here now, and now the hotel's it's going to do much better business, or he'll be out of a job. And the rest of the movie, much like I Love Hong Kong 2013, just becomes this series of loosely connected vignettes. None of it makes any sense. And in every scene, there's some new character that's introduced. And this continues for like 30 minutes. It's just constantly another character, and that character has their own storyline. And then there's another character, and they have and before you know it, you're 30 minutes in and you're still going, I have no idea what this movie's about. And I started fast forwarding through it to see if I could kind of get some sense of, is there anything that actually happens in the film? And no, there isn't. Nothing ever happens. Every scene looks exactly the same. It just has new faces in every scene. So like I said, I did not make it past the 30-minute mark. I'm so sorry, guys. I promise you the movies have to get better. I really, really hope they do, because I don't like doing these kind of reviews. I like really sitting down and talking about the technical specs of the film. I like talking about like breaking a film down and what made it great, and tidbits of information I think you would find informative and entertaining. I love doing that. I don't like reporting on bad movies, but well, I shouldn't say bad movies. Maybe it's just not for me. Maybe that's what it is. But actually, no, because the critics didn't seem like it was for them either. They said the the criticism is that it's a comedy that isn't funny, and that there is no real story. There's no development. I don't see what any character needs to overcome. I don't see, are they each other's enemy? I didn't see anything. I didn't see anything that made any narrative sense. And I essentially wasted my time. What I will say is, unlike I Love Hong Kong, this one is a DVD, and it has some artwork on the inside. This is the hotel manager, and that's his lady that drops by like 30 minutes into the movie. Just randomly drops in. Let's see if I can get this out of here without breaking it. Oh, I guess that must be their parents, and they show up later in the movie, because I didn't see either of these people in the film. So they must come in a little bit later. It's real funny. They don't have anybody on this inside artwork that's actually in the first 30 minutes except for this guy. But like I said, at least it's a DVD, so it's a little bit better quality than the VCD. So going off of my ratings, uh shelf appeal, uh, um I mean, no, not really. Uh is it entertaining? God, no. No, not at all. Not even a little bit. Not even. I will say this. I will say this. One cool thing was that the female manager who shows up is what is her name? Teresa Moe, I think her name is. Let me see. Hold on. Yeah, the female manager that shows up is Teresa Moe. And if that name doesn't ring a bell, don't worry, it probably shouldn't. But I will tell you who she is. If you are a fan of Hong Kong action films, she was Chow Yun Fat's girlfriend in Hard Boiled. Do you remember Hard Boiled? Yeah, that was the woman who played his girlfriend. She shows up, she's the manager, and so she's in the entire film. And whether or not she does a good job is completely subjective. I thought she did a serviceable job, but I have no idea what she was supposed to, what she was trying to achieve. I never really understood any of her actions in the film in the 30 minutes that I watched it. But at least it was delightful to see her. So anyway, entertaining? No, not at all. And if I didn't even finish the first time, there's no rewatchability at all. So if you are a fan of Lunar New Year movies, comedies, then this may be for you. I would say that I am going to add Hotel Deluxe to the subscriber Saturday, so that you will have an opportunity to win this for yourself. All you would have to do is hit the like and the subscribe to the channel, and put down in the comments that you want this film. And once we hit 100 subscribers, I'll draw a name. I might even draw 2. I might even draw 3. Okay. I don't know yet how many I'll draw. But once I do that drawing, and if it's you, you'll get this film mailed to you completely free on the house. Okay. Sound fair? Thank you guys for showing up and hanging out with me while I talk not so positively about this film. I didn't have a positive experience with I Love Hong Kong 2013 either. They're not meant for me. They probably are for someone, just not me. Hopefully it's you. But yeah, thank you for showing up. I hope you hit the like. I hope you hit the subscribe, and that you left me some stuff down in the comments. And until next time, keep finding good films at great prices.